Well, a lot of interesting stuff happened in just single exchanges, right? So back up towards the camera so I don't have to crane my neck too much, right? There was some interesting stuff that happened there just by being like, hey, throw an action and see what happens in the bind, all right? What did people learn? What did people get confused by? What was weird? Yeah, Casey, go for it.
Definitely one thing I noticed, just being able to have like a one spot stop, the margins are a lot thinner.
Yes, the margins are a lot thinner. There's a lot of micro adjustments that come into play here. And one of the goals of this seminar is by the end of it to understand where some of those margins get really thin and how to make those micro adjustments through these core principles of KDF. But yes, there are very, very small adjustments. I was working with a pair of people over here where I was like, okay, well, if your sword's here versus your sword being here, that makes a world of difference in the action, right? It really can be that subtle, which is why it's really damn annoying to play the bind game. Yeah, I saw Grant's hand first.
Further point that I just realized from the last bit we were doing, there was the one point where I was sitting here and you across. Yeah, and I did this. I should have done like this, and that would have been the head of it.
Yes, the choice of action can make a difference because the alignment of the sword on the other person's sword does make a difference, right? It's not all the body, right? The technique at the sword makes a difference. And I came to 3 or 4 different groups being like, hey, if you tweak your, like I would talk about Zverkal, like if you Zverk like this versus Zverking like this, the resulting bind is going to be different. And that is a source of micro adjustment, right? Other hands, yes, Austin.
Yeah, I'm a little confused by this, but there are a few times where the parry would kind of put you in the lead, but that almost felt good or better.
Oh my goodness. You're thinking of hour 4 already. I love that. All right. Y'all are, yeah. So like there's sometimes where like the parry would actually knock you weak, but it almost like felt right or good to do, right? And wonderful. We're going to get back to that, right? But one more thought and then I'll bring Jason up. What's your name, club?
Ryan from Falls.
Ryan, thank you for being here.
Keeping the reaction simple, they go on to end up in a stronger mechanical, the advantageous position.
Yes.
Trying to be a little bit fancy with it, just twist and put your sword out. It's a lot.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a really famous line in the earliest KDF text that we have, manuscript 3227A, which talks about throwing your actions as directly as though there's a cord or thread connecting your sword to where you want to connect it, right? And so trying to get really flourishy with it, it increases the risk of losing that advantage at the end, right? That's a really crucial principle. Cash, last point, and then I'm going to demonstrate something. Yeah, go for it.
I just want to add one thing is, I think going for longer actions that just cover more distance when you're defending or if you're attacking is also part of keeping it short and simple, because if you take a really long action, there's a longer chance that you have to screw up whatever position you end up to. Cash from CBA, by the way.
Yeah, Cash, thank you so much for being here. Yes, longer, we're going to talk about long and lengthened and shortened actions in the second hour, but just because an action is lengthened or shortened doesn't mean it's just the good thing or the bad thing to do. There is some nuance in why certain actions would be chosen that way, right? So Jason, if you come back up here, right, the general theme that I want to highlight here from all of this, which by the way, wonderful insights, thank you all for being so scholarly, is there were a lot of positions that ended up like this. I'm going to be righty. Can you just throw an Oberhow? Who's strong and who's weak? Am I strong? Okay, let's do a vote. Who says Jason is strong? Raise your hands. Who says I'm strong? Who's unsure / abstains courteously? If anyone's seen the musical 1776, New York abstains courteously. Okay, let's try it again. Same thing. Who's strong and weak? Maybe? Who thinks I'm strong? Who thinks I'm weak? Jason, push. There's a lot of actions where it's unclear whether somebody has mechanical advantage or disadvantage. So here's the general rule. By the way, weak, I forgot to define weak before. Weak is not strong. You don't have control of the center line. You don't have mechanical advantage. You don't, the weak is the inverse of strong, right? Can both fencers be structurally weak or weakened at the same time?
Yes.
Yes. Can both fencers be structurally strong? Who says yes? Who says no? What's the definition that we use for strong with some of the principles we talked about? Yeah, Emma, go for it.
Like having control with your structure, and you can't always both have control of each other at the same time.
Exactly. Only one person can have control of the other person. And just because, go back into that exact same action, this high bind, another example of why the strong versus the weak makes a difference here. The strong of the sword is on the strong of the sword. If my definition of strong is the strong of the sword, we're both strong. It's a lot of strong. Who has advantage? It's unclear, right? So if it's not clear who has advantage, chances are we're both actually kind of question mark, right? Similarly, just gently throw a thrust towards my shoulder and I'm going to do the same, right? Who here has had this happen? All the time. Who's strong and who's weak here? We're both dead, which makes us weak, all right? Because neither of us had control of our opponents. So it's very clearly possible that both of us can be structurally weak or weakened against each other, but only one person can be strong at a time, but there's not a guarantee that somebody is going to be strong at any given time. It depends on whether or not somebody is doing something right, or a lot of things right. There are a lot of ways to be weak because there's a lot of ways to have mechanical disadvantage, but you need your body, you need your alignment, you need your sword, all these pieces to be together in the right way to have a structural advantage against your opponent, ergo be strong. Okay? Does that concept make sense? Anyone confused? Any questions? Very happy to take them. Okay. This concludes the first part of our seminar. So take another water break, take another rest, grab some snacks, and then we're going to go into lengthened and shortened structure.